If marital sex is all about trust, connection, and respect from the woman's perspective, how is it that a married woman can cut off sex with her husband, the father of their children, and then enter into an affair with a married man?
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think a lot of you guys will really like to get some of the insight and have a better understanding how that works really from a woman's perspective. This one here, I don't believe she's a psychotherapist. She kind of sounds and looks the part, but I believe she is, well, she just has a podcast and she's probably a dating coach. So she does give some decent insights, into why women do what they do, and then again with this video about sex and how they view it in a marriage. All right, so let's check it out.
My heart goes out to this man, and that it's clear this is what he's experiencing, and it's a very difficult situation to be in. So in answering the question, this is the story we tell the world, that for us as women, sex is about trust, connection, and respect. That's a story, and it's a lie that good men don't know any better. And sex is a tool we use to get what we want as women. And
hey, plain and simple, she said a lot right there. Sex is a tool to get what we want as women. They use it as a tool. Okay. I mean, do all of them do it? No. Do many of them do it? Yeah, probably most at some point. Okay. When you think about it conversely, can men use our finances as a tool to get what we want? So can we cut our partners off, from whatever money we give them, or stop paying the mortgage, or stop paying the car note, or other things, if we're not getting what we want? No, we're on the hook to do this. But women do have the luxury of withholding and more so weaponizing sex to get what they want. Let's see what she says.
And we will abandon our responsibilities, abandon our marriage, the man we say we love the most, and go run off with someone who has no connection or respect for us, and there's no trust there. So that's just a story. The reason we cut off sex is because we marry for the wrong reasons.
That makes a lot of sense. Most women, they're getting married late 20s, probably early 30s these days. A lot of women are not getting married at a young age anymore. The men that they truly desire, their first choices, by the time they get married, they're not marrying their first choice. Those guys have gone by in their lives, and a lot of women see that they're racing this clock. They know that their beauty, there's more of a shelf life with women as opposed to men who are on their game. And so now they're trying to beat the clock, do these buzzer beater marriages. All right. So it's inevitable that whoever they marry is just not going to be who they truly want. And it just makes these behaviors that much easier to follow through with it when you think about it. So let's see what else she has to say.
We cut off sex because we got married to be taken care of, and the unrealistic expectation that our husbands are supposed to make us happy.
I got to stop there again. Stop her there again. Yeah, that is definitely an unrealistic expectation. Nobody should be able to make you happy but you. Your happiness has to start from within. And, we all know that a good person complements your own happiness that you already have, and how integrated you are and whole inside. But a lot of women have it twisted, and leads to a lot of trouble. So let's continue.
When men can't live up to our ridiculous expectations, standards, and the ever-moving goalposts of our demands, we cut off sex as a punishment and withholding from you because of the hurt we feel you are doing to us and our emotional delusion that we're so unhappy and thinking you're the cause of our unhappiness when you're not. This is another example of how a good man can't understand a woman and our wiring internally in this, because a good man would never ever do this in his marriage to his wife, and would never have that level of cruelty and mean-spiritedness just randomly to his wife. It's a shocking disbelief for a good man to grasp how selfish, cruel, and mean-spirited we can be as...
Well, yeah, that's easier explained to men. Yeah, we are different. Women and men, we are, like she said, we're wired differently. You know, a lot of men go by honor, respect, and duty. A lot of women, they don't have really a lot of honor, respect, and duty. And I hate to say it, a lot of them don't even have the integrity you think that they might have. The woman's loyalty first is to her emotions, and also to her kids, only to a certain age, and maybe puppy dogs and kittens. To the male experience in her partner, and the male's plight and pain, even though it's her partner, no. She's going to be a lot of times indifferent towards that. And that's something we can't understand, but it is true. You don't have to like it nor believe it, but, you know, reality is reality.
As women. So all we focus on in the marriage is what we think you're doing wrong, that we believe is making us unhappy. So the trust, respect, and connection is gone. We killed it. Yep. We brutally murdered it with our woman ways and how we show up in our manipulative, emasculating, and gaslighting behaviors to make you feel that you are the problem.
It's just like where it relates to chivalry. What is that, Dave Chappelle? He said, they're saying, oh, chivalry is dead, and then he says, yeah, it is, and a woman killed it. Same concept. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
And then the hurt and the blame we have toward you for our miserableness.
Misery.
We can't see our own role and our own choices and our own behaviors that are making us unhappy. From that place, some married women will then have an affair because they feel you've let them down. They feel entitled and are extremely selfish to go find someone to fill that emptiness and make us happy, which they won't be able to do it either. You want to watch Why Married Women Cheat under the live tab on the channel to get more of a more in-depth perspective to this. But some women will find a married man to have an affair with because he's miserable, often because of what his wife has done to him and her emasculation. And the woman that's after him is in her facade. So he thinks she's wonderful. And how could her husband treat her so poorly? She's so wonderful. And then they have an affair. And so many men, and even outside this context of what we're talking about in an affair, have fallen for their wives' stories of how awful her ex-boyfriends were, how awful her ex-husband was.
Yeah, I mean, look, especially in the beginning stages, yeah, a guy, he's not going to question that, you know, because every woman the guy meets, if she talks about the ex, she's going to throw him under the bus. You know, I mean, hey, I'm just going to say it. He wants to get in her pants in the beginning, so why is he going to challenge her on that? Now, he might challenge her after, especially when things don't go good, but beforehand, I don't see a lot of guys, if they want to get with the girl, I mean, for any reason, sex or even have a relationship, I don't care if it was platonic, guys is not going to go there. So that's why. They may know better, but again, there may be ulterior motives. Go ahead.
And don't even question it.
No,
it's a story. It's a story. Yeah. So the emotional connection that a married woman and a married man make from their own being miserable in their marriages is that emotional connection is a fantasy world. It's not based in reality. It's based in this fantasy of coming together and having something new and being able to relate to each other and how sad and lonely or unhappy they are in their marriages, and create a whole other false relationship that isn't going to have a strong foundation and won't work. Again, we're wired different.
So I'm going to leave it at that, and just as a quick recap here, I thought this woman had some really good perspectives on probably how most women think, and I would say more so here in the Western world. I think this is part of human or female nature all over the world. But you guys, you got to remember, culture moderates female behavior. And here in the West, what we've done is it's just kind of like, you know, if you have children and you just kind of at, you know, at a certain age, just let them do what they want. Well, you know, they're going to do what they want. Nobody tells them no. There's no discipline. And we have kind of taken the expectations of maturity from today's modern Western woman, and you know, this is why she does a lot of the things that she does. You know, not being loyal, cheating a lot, things like that, only because, you know, they're just not told no, and they're not held accountable anymore. What a lot of you guys probably didn't know is what she's saying is true. When a woman, or most women out there, they do weaponize sex. For you married guys, you know this already. Maybe it's the lights clicking, or the lights kind of bulb is coming on now. If you've seen this in your own marriage, or cohabitating relationships, or just any relationship in general, you know, when women are pulling back, they're pulling back for a reason. Okay, they know what they're doing, and you see. Men, the few men that are out there that understand female nature, they know that women do this. I will still stand on and say, even though it can be very cruel, and it's a very negative thing to do, I still say it's a survival mechanism too for them as well. It's just innate. It's how, like she's saying, it's how they're wired. Doesn't make it good, it doesn't make it right, but it's what it is, and you men should be trying to really accept this and look out for the signs. You don't reward bad behavior with any woman. Like my grandmother used to say, you end up the way you started out. So if you started out with poor boundaries with a woman, well, all the way through your marriage, and you rewarded her with marriage, the biggest honor a man can get, and your boundaries are still poor, well, guess what you're probably going to get? A cheating woman. And men and women pretty much cheat at the same rates. So it's not like all men are dogs, which is the common narrative out there. You guys are getting down too. So pretty much the same thing. So anyways, you guys, like and subscribe to the channel. Leave comments too. I take all comments from everyone, men, women, whoever. Just, you know, let's interact a bit on this. And we'll go from there. So I'll see you in the next video. Peace.